And now, there we go. It's working. Okay, we can go ahead and get started.
What are the course? I love Blender. Are we going?
We're not going quite yet.
But yeah, Blender's so it's one the community is like actually a community. Your Maya community is usually some weirdo like Russian dude out in the middle of nowhere. Blender is there's so many people working on Blender, so you always have help. And like for low poly modeling, way better in my opinion.
Should we lower the music a little bit?
Yeah.
Yes. This camera for start, and then switch to camera and desktop. Yeah. It'll feel natural, I promise. All right. Hello. Greetings, camera that I'm facing right now. Welcome to the New Orleans Game Dev Meetup. It is the month of July in the year of 2022. My name is Curtis. I'm here at the beautiful Sea Cave in the Bywater of New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm joined by Calder, who does not have his microphone to his face, so no one can hear him. Yes, you do.
It's me, Calder.
It's
My
been a little
microphone's
while.
turned on, and I'm talking to you.
It's been a little while. We forgot how to run these things, but we're still doing it, and everything's fine and okay. You go ahead and hit that next slide. You got to move it to the right of the screen, and then it'll go off the screen to the screen behind you. It's a wonderful setup, I know. All right, so if you don't know who we are, it's very interesting you found yourself at our live stream. We are the New Orleans Game Dev community. This is our meetup. We meet on the third Thursday of every month.
I just realized we forgot to link to the Twitch in the announcements.
I posted a link to it.
Okay, cool.
You can click. It's got a few things. All right, so the meetup happens third Thursday every month. You can see our roaring crowd here for us for the meetup. It happens every third Thursday. Don't forget, the third Thursday. It's right here in the Sea Cave and virtually on Twitch unless there's no internet. And then it might be on Twitch. Who knows? I'm going to press the next one. We also do a hack night every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. in Discord in the Hack Night voice channel. You can scan this QR code on the screen to get an invite to that. Go ahead and we have show and tell every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. right here at the Sea Cave. You get to plug your laptop into the screen my laptop's currently plugged into behind the camera. And you can show off whatever you've been working on. It's a great time. You get to hang out with everyone. And we got one more in the intro. Oops. That was the wrong click. And we also have seasonal game jams, which you'll hear a whole lot more about as the night goes on. Now that we got all that out of the way, I'm going to kind of kill the mood and the vibe here for a couple minutes. Go to the next slide. Oh, more types of meetups. I don't know why. I forgot about that last one.
More meetups, I guess. It's always kind of been a tentative plan to have more.
So that's going to make this next slide very awkward. So a month ago, about one of my best friends, Michael, died. He was a member of the game dev community here in New Orleans. I started making games with him. We actually made a suicide pact where if we didn't figure out how to make games, we would kill ourselves. We figured out how to make games. We spent a good few years together making games. He's one of my best friends. I loved him more than anything in the world. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to his funeral last month because I had COVID. So I thought I would use what platform I have and commandeer some time away from you lovely people to tell my friend who's now gone that I love him and I'll always miss him. And he never came to Sea Cave, so he doesn't know how cool this place is, but he would love our indie cab and that we get people to make cool shit for it. So if you want to honor my dearly departed friend Michael's memory, make cool shit for the Sea Cab jams. And I'm not gonna keep ruining the mood here. So we're gonna go on into what this whole meetup is about, and talk about those jams. So Calder, if you wanna take it away.
Okay, cool. So I'm Calder. I'm one of the organizers here at NOGD. Alec, one of another organizers. Ben, he's right here, right now. He's waving. You can't see him, but now you can. There he is. I'm one of the organizers here at NOGD, and one of the primary tasks I do all the time is I set up, run, and do a lot of logistics for these jams here. Our various jams, and honestly, I don't even know what the slides are. The idea was this was going to be fairly casual because I just got over COVID like everyone else, it seems, and really, I just didn't want to make slides.
Yeah, the slides are essentially nonsense at this point. We don't even need to show them, but we'll show them just for fun, just so you know the effort we put into it.
Yeah. So I guess why did we end up making the jams? There's a couple reasons. Sea Cave was tentatively supposed to be an operating business for like 3 or 4 years before we actually opened, and we had this wonderful space. We wanted to figure out things to do in it, and I kind of was like, oh, well, if we made a fun cab for NOGD or something like that, and we had some games on it from people who made games here, and it would be a fun way to showcase stuff.
Wait, there are games showcased here?
There are games here at the Sea Cave on the Sea Cab right over there that you can't see off camera.
I would turn the camera to show the cab, but then we'd have to reframe the shot. Okay, Calder got it. Now Ben's in the way. There we go. I don't even know what the camera sees.
It's right now showing a little bit of Mugen, but I feel like that's in the spirit of indie games. If indie games aren't Mugen, what are they?
So that's our indie cab here at the Sea Cave, New Orleans, in the Bywater.
But yeah, as I was sourcing all these parts for it, I was asking a lot of the leadership. Because at that point I wasn't part of the leadership here. And I was just saying, like, if we can find parts or something like for this, it'd be really cool. And then I think it was maybe Austin. I don't know who suggested the idea for a jam, but someone did. And I was invited into the secret mod space, and we started getting to work on sort of doing everything for it. And it was, honestly, after that point, not that difficult to organize. The first one was pretty good. Cranberry number 1. You,
OG.
Click.
Or the OC.
Yeah. So basically, are the flyers on any of the ones here?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, let's just click ahead until we find the flyers.
Yeah, it's the next one.
All right, that one. So the very first one was the Cranberry Jam, which was honestly still probably one of my favorite flyers. Thank you to Megan for a lot of the help on this one in terms of making actual legible type that makes sense. Cool, Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho, yes.
I did that.
Yeah.
I made Mob Psycho 100.
I thought Megan made it.
She did. It's incredible.
She's a very talented artist.
But yeah, anyways, we started Cranberry Jam, and a big idea was it was hard for us to stay focused, do a 3-day traditional jam like we had in the past for like Global Game Jam and stuff like that. We wanted to make something that would be 10 days so that we could sort of all do it in a palatable amount of time for what makes sense. I don't know. We're all COVID brain. We didn't want to put people to the screws while they're sitting at home doing nothing all the time. We figured 10 days would give you time to work at it casually. Because, I don't know, the biggest part about jams in the past that we have been to is like you're working next to people and you're really busting each other's butts because you're all stuck in one room, potentially the whole time, maybe not, and it sort of lights a fire under your ass. But without that, we figured 10 days sort of made more sense.
Yeah, the rush and the hubbub of the 3-day jam which I personally love. I'll still do it any time.
Yeah.
And most of the time I even do these in 3 days. But we don't need to have that kind of stress. The world is our oyster, and everyone's stuck inside anyway. Not really anymore, I guess. But they were stuck inside at that point. So might as well give them a whole week and some change to do whatever that they love, which is make games, hopefully. Or maybe they're masochists, and that's cool too.
So yeah, when we did that, in some ways it's the most prep we did for a jam because we had to make every resource for it. I had to make the flyers. I had to make a little member sign up sheet. I did outreach to radio ads, and I actually kind of loved the radio ad we had.
Oh yeah, the W2L radio ad, Shelly.
Yeah, no, it was great. I had a crab that wanted to make video games. God, I wish I had it right now.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, if we had some foresight, we would have played it right now. But it's adorable. I guess I'll post it onto the general at some point. And so we really did a ton of outreach, but it wasn't necessarily the most targeted. So what actually ended up happening was a lot of people who already showed up to our stuff ended up making games.
That was cool. We got some games on there.
Yeah, we do. Honestly, I never finished. I don't think I finished any of the games I made for any of these jams.
I don't think I've ever finished a game in my life.
Yeah. But I am somewhat the most proud of my incomplete jam game from the Cranberry Jam. That was the crab control one.
Was it the whatever at the Saturn, Sega Saturn bar?
So we made crab control at the Sega Saturn bar. At that point, Saturn bar wasn't going to exist, so we had a game where you avoided people because you ran into them, you get COVID, and you threw little crabs at each other because why not? We just thought crabs are funny. And it was really fun. I don't know, it still is kind of a functional game, and it looks
incredible.
Really
it looks great.
Good. We had a good team that was all working together on it. But that's kind of the fun thing about the 10-day jam is I feel like everything just sort of bloated in good ways. That I guess a few people finished their stuff. I forgot the names. They made a game where you're a cat and you're trying to find your way home. And that was actually pretty good and surprisingly more complete than everyone else's thing. But I don't know, Cranberry was a lot of fun, and we got to learn a lot of the problems there. A lot of them were just trying to find people to get teams, and that's not a problem we really have solved, to tell you the truth. When people come in solo and want to find other people to work with online, that is not easy. In person, super easy.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that fella over there.
Throw a bunch of people in the room, start making them spit out ideas and shit. They'll gravitate. They'll form their groups. They'll get their teams going. It's easy peasy.
Yeah.
All online, it's a very abstract type of problem. And you get people who, I guess, normally wouldn't socialize too well to socialize with people they don't see or know and randomly work with them for 10 days. It's a pretty tall ask for most people, I'd say.
Yeah, we ended up just making separate Discords for everything, which I don't necessarily know is still a great idea because eventually everyone just sort of splinters off and no one really talks to each other and it sort of loses the fun communal aspect of a jam. Problem yet to be solved, honestly.
You've got great ideas. Why don't you shoot us an email at
is it do we have contact or org? Honestly, you can just put any of our names
organization.
Yeah,
my name's Curtis. That's Calder. There's Ben. We've got Chris somewhere.
Yeah,
I think
he's
in Canada still. So he's not coming back, unfortunately.
But yeah, is there another slide? What slide are we on?
No, actually the slides have they committed seppuku, I suppose.
Okay, cool. Anyways, and then we did Blueberry. Blueberry was probably the most successful one. We got the most complete games on it. There's a lot of Blueberry Game Jam games on that right now. I don't even know why Blueberry was so successful. It's somewhat inexplicable.
I think people just like blueberries.
And I think that could be it. We all just like blueberries, but I thought peaches were cool too. But I don't know, not as good as blueberries.
I was going to look this up and put it in the slides, which... If you see the slides, which you don't, they're very devoid of information. But I was going to try to put how many teams and games were created. Do you have any rough estimates?
I would say lots of teams were created in terms of games.
It's a very steep drop off, unfortunately.
I would say, okay, best clearance rate was Blueberry Jam. The most people to actually submit finished projects that not only functionally worked, but could be considered a complete jam. That was Blueberry. There are, I think for a lot of these cases, and it might even just be a part of 10 days, a lot of people who make really cool things that aren't done for these jams, like the scaffolding to make a very cool game if you had months extra seems to be the common thing that comes out of these jams.
Yeah, honestly, like I started that dark mattery horror adventure game, and I really want to go back to that someday. But man, I wish I could have gotten it for the jam. That would have been good.
I remember we slightly worked on this wasn't
Octolord.
That was actually I think Blueberry because it
Was
was
that
8.
Yeah,
my
yeah, it was
favorite theme
Blueberry.
I've ever
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
So I like making stupid themes. It's probably my favorite part of all of this. And that Blueberry was just 8, but it could also be 8 on its side. It could also be foisting the word 8 into other words like hate and skate. And so it was probably the best theme that was ever invented.
It was very
I'm very
versatile.
proud of myself. But we basically made Overcooked.
Yeah.
But with octopus arms, and
And
somehow
there's-
thought you could do that in 10 days.
Yeah, and there wasn't multiple cooks. There was one cook who was an octopus, and you were the tentacles.
Yeah, you had to control each one of the tentacles separately and sort of maintain the stations for each one of your things. So you had to have a split brain sort of personality. And I thought it was going to be sick. I still think that could be sick.
Yeah, it was a good idea. I made some. I think I made the stations work. You can like chop stuff. You can blend stuff. And
I've actually
stuff.
looked up shaders for the tentacles that would actually make them functional at this point, but I don't have the time to work on that one anymore. But yeah, that's kind of like, it's funny because like, no, they're not finished games, but is that like a failure really? Like,
no, I mean, who cares?
yeah, exactly. Like
We're
I came out of
having
it
fun.
with like, that's I guess the most fun thing about this sort of 10-day thing is it's long enough for you to actually like really commit yourself to learning a new technique or something, like some sort of like thing that you wouldn't really anticipate.
But it's not so long that like you feel like you wasted the time if you like don't end up with something at the end. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's not like so like super stressful. Like you're not like crunching the whole time like the Global Game Jam, which is just a weekend. When you go through that whole weekend working so hard, 72 hours straight, and then you don't have something at the end of it, you feel pretty dumb. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
And I felt dumb a few times in my life.
I think Blueberry is also when we start doing classes,
Yeah, yeah. I
which
believe so.
like I'm personally now probably spend more time doing those classes than working on especially in the case of Peach Jam. All I did was those classes. I didn't do anything for the actual jam. But I like doing those classes. They're fun. Like, I wish, call out to people here if you have any classes you would want to ever teach. Not only do I think it's like really fun to do it in a relaxed format where no one's judging you and really all you have to do is hop on Twitch, but it's kind of legitimately a really good way to solidify any of the knowledge you may have in a particular field if you're just learning it.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of times I've done that Blender course, at this point, I know all of my little hotkeys and all the little separators, and I can do things fast enough, and I probably can also do it in a way that tells people what to do better than I could the first time.
If you like really want to like master a very specific thing, record yourself teaching a lesson on how to do that thing, and then just do that like 5 times a year. And then eventually you'll be very good at doing that one thing. So, you don't even think you have to know what you're talking about to teach one of these classes. I mean, hopefully you do know something about what you're talking about. But as long as you can show someone how to go from the beginning to the end of whatever procedure you want to teach, you can do it.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, even if you don't teach that well, having, like, just another person to work with half the time, that's like half of learning in jams anyway, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and like you may think that you're bad at whatever it is that you do. I guarantee you there's someone else that knows even less about that than you do, and then they're going to see you talking about it. And even if you know you're like doing things not optimally or whatever, that person that doesn't know anything sees you up there teaching and stuff, and they'll be like, oh wow, I can do it too. And that's really, I think, what the heart of the game jam, make games touch heart or shake heart.
yeah.
I think is the.
I think
the
that's a
tagline.
Masahiro Ito quote that I
Hell
stole.
yeah.
He's sick. He has a really weird Twitter. He doesn't have the greatest grasp on English, and he talks about his F-word toast a lot that he really enjoys making. Also, he makes really cool monster designs. Masahiro Ito. You can thank him for the strange quote we have on all of these flyers. Next was Strawberry, which might be my favorite flyer, but I don't know how good of a jam it was.
It was my favorite flavor.
Yeah, it's a great flavor of jam. I can't even really tell you how strawberry jam went. At that point, I had moved like 3 times within a month into a house where my landlord had tried to murder someone in the apartment next door.
Forgot about that.
And so literally everything at that point is just sort of a fugue state where I just didn't sleep very often. But I really like the flyer I made.
The flyer is sick. You got to see it. It's
Big robot hand picking a strawberry.
yeah.
2 little guys pointing at it and saying,
kinda-
wow, look at that.
It kind of reminds me of like Fooly Cooley, the weird TV robot guy. That I don't know the name of.
Love the weird TV robot guy.
Yeah, big fan.
Also, like, for everyone those flyers, I forced myself to learn a different part of Blender, and I think that one was, like, pixel perfect UV texturing, which was really fun, and, like, I got to do that whole, like, PSX, like, texturing that everyone wants to do, but actually do it the authentic way, not, like, just take a JPEG and downsample it, like, 80 times, like, make a really solid UV. That was fun. I don't know. Make cool UVs. It rules. Also, it sucks, but, like, it's fun, too. You know?
So after Strawberry was the sequel to Cranberry, right?
Cranberry 2.
Yeah.
I don't really remember Cranberry 2 all that well.
I'll be honest, I don't remember, like, the last 3.
What did
my,
we do
my
for
entire life is a haze at this
Cranberry
point.
2? I made a bunch of really cool space berries. Did someone submit something for Cranberry 2?
I have no idea. We're very good at our jobs
I
here.
honestly don't think Cranberry 2 did that well. I think it was kind of around Christmas or something like that. And I think
Yeah,
a
it
lot
was
of
like mid-December,
yeah.
which probably isn't the best time frame.
Which might even be why we're like slightly having this meetup in general, is to eventually to sort of open the board and get better ideas of how to make these things better, because there is a sort of drop off we noticed. Like, as much as I like Peach Jam, which I'm very proud of our motion flyer. Thank you, Sandro, for the images that went into that.
And we miss you out here, Sandra.
Yeah.
Be safe out there on the trains.
We love Sandro. He's riding in an actual train. Not
Yeah, I know. He's on the train going across the country.
Yeah, he's not even riding the rails. He's
Yeah.
he's sitting in an Amtrak.
He paid for it.
He
He's a
paid
respectful
for it.
citizen.
Yeah, he's not hiding underneath the carriage of a train. That'd be difficult. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, like, we had, I think, 1 submission for Peach. But yeah, it's kind of a lot of the problem we have right now is we're coming out of COVID, though obviously we're not. Like, I just had it 2 weeks ago, so of course we're not.
We'll never really be over.
But we're coming into the space that we probably want to start having people around for these things. And we don't really know how to progress. Like, do we keep the 10-day structure? We're going to need to probably have... Ben, do you think no 10 days? 1 weekend.
Ben's a huge supporter for 1 weekend.
Person we just met, what's your name? Melissa.
Melissa. Nice
Had
to have
an
you,
idea
Melissa.
I actually really liked. What do you think about this, Ben? For Summer Jam, just 2 months. I know, but it's just for the summer. So, like, this... Jam Warden?
That's a sick title.
Yeah, let's have some jam scrums. I would actually love that, because I feel like it was hard for a lot of these jams. We always had the idea of, like, let's have a midweek meetup, and, like, either everyone's just working on their game and doesn't want to spend time doing that,
Or working on work and
or
their actual
working
jobs.
on work. Yeah, that's also a problem with the 10-day jam. You guys got stuff you
Yeah.
gotta do. Yeah. I mean, I think that's something we could set up fairly well. Like,
Yeah.
just here, like, we don't have to have a big to-do meeting. We can just have, like, a, hey, come by Sea Cave, talk about what we can just make it a part of show and tell, essentially, but have a special one.
Actually, for the next jam, we're going to have morning stand-up calls. Everyone has
yeah.
to get in Discord. If you would like to incorporate Agile into the Game Dev Meetup, you can shoot us an email. Please do not email me about Agile. I will
Do you
block
ever
you.
realize, like, whenever people talk about Agile, they make it sound like software. They're like, yeah, we're going to incorporate Agile into our meetings. Like, you're going to install something instead of just sort of, it's a workflow. Like,
I think the crazy thing about Agile is that no one does it the same way, but they all talk about it like it's done the same
yeah, are
way.
you Agile certified?
I think we've started like meandering, so
Yeah.
we can open the floor here to our wonderful studio audience. If anyone has suggestions or comments or
Yeah.
questions or concerns or
Someone just say
Just-
something.
just
or wrap
general
it right
thoughts.
in.
come into the hot chair. What would I jam for 2 months?
Honestly,
I can't even promise that like I'll eat regularly for 2 months. I don't have that kind of like planning and foresight capabilities.
I think I
Any
would.
comments, concerns?
But it would just like, I think in that case, even looser theme, because I think it'd be hard for people to want to like work for a particular theme for 2 months if they don't love it. Like,
Yeah, I think
that's
like
gonna be a real pain.
a sort of strength of the the one weekend format is that like everyone goes to the same place, and then everyone's there like working. I think in person is really what makes these things work. I think remote jams are a sham. And they're-
Damn. We're a sham.
I'm gonna cut that train of thought short before I get ahead of myself. But yeah, doing it online just doesn't work out as well. Cause like really being like in the same room, seeing someone works, like even if you like lose motivation or interest or whatever, you can see like someone in the corner modeling Tony Shalhoub's nose,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh shit, well he's making a nose. I guess I can make my stupid game.
We did that for the Global Game Jam. I made Tony Shalhoub's nose. You can pet it. You can feed it. You
It's-
have to pick up its boogers.
Yeah, it was a very strange virtual pet game.
It
That was
now-
a great
I
game
learned
though.
AI because of it. It's called Tomasnachi. Thank you, and I'm very
That
proud
is-
of it.
that's
I got gifts.
Um,
They're in show. They're showing to show off your work.
Yeah, so a 2 month jam, honestly, I'll try anything once, you know? So.
I mean, they also don't all have to be the same jam. Is the
Yeah,
other thing
exactly. They're
critically.
different flavors. They can have different formats.
Yeah.
So, you know, we kind of like expand our reach here. I don't know, has anyone got any comments? We're
What
we're
if
really
it was
fishing for ideas from the
1 month?
community because we don't like just like telling everyone else what's gonna happen and what to do. Baron likes jam. What kind? Boysenberry? I've never had boysenberry anything, honestly.
Boysenberry. It almost sounds like poisonberry.
I know. Doesn't it? That sounds suspicious.
Yeah. I mean, if no one else has ideas, I would say, like, we'll probably have another one fairly soon. Sooner rather than later. I'm going to probably target, like, maybe September or something like that. So we can get, like, a decent amount. Mid-September, so I can get, like, a decent amount of marketing out there.
Like, how many Ludum Dares do you think it took before anyone gave a shit about doing Ludum Dare?
Less than 56. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
a good estimate.
But I mean, the other thing that with these jams is with a lot of our stuff, we'd love to open up like not only leadership, but just people who want to be involved in like organizing, because you know it would be cool to have more people involved in organizing NOGD, not
Yeah.
just us. We always want to work on new projects and things like that, so we can't figure out everything to do.
And we really want to do stuff that people want to do, which is ironic because we're sitting here with microphones and a crowd of people not letting anyone else talk on our live stream. So a little irony there. But we want you guys to sit here and talk on the microphones so that we don't have to do it and think about it.
Yeah, no, I think I can barely think right now. That whatever the COVID fog is that I thought was just people talking about, I don't know, being lazy after COVID. No, it's real. Eventually my brain just decides that it doesn't really want to function mid-sentence, and I get this lightheadedness and just sort of drift off.
Eventually it'll turn to liquid and start falling out of your nose.
Cool, about time, man. And my head would be lighter as a result, and that sounds lovely. But yeah, I don't know. I guess the next one, What about what flavor jam should we do?
I mean, we've got 4 flavors, 4 seasons.
Yeah, but I feel like the only jam I want a consistent flavor for is cranberry. Mostly
Yeah.
because it's not even really a jam. It's usually like a sauce when we think about it, and I think that bothers people, and that gives me a little joy.
Never mind. I tell a very unsavory
We've never
joke.
done Satsuma. We always threaten a Satsuma jam, but we've never done one.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Satsuma Jam. We got strong reactions from the crowd.
Yeah, crowd.
It's actually pronounced Satsuma.
Satsuma.
It's not.
Sounds like a Tekken character.
It's a riff in the old
Satsuma
persimmon.
Heihachi or something.
Oh,
Satsuma
what about
Mishima.
persimmon jam?
Persimmon jam. Ooh.
Pepper?
We haven't done pepper jam.
It's actually pepper jelly.
Oh no, that again. That fits the format of bothering people, like being close enough to a jam for a jelly that somebody's gonna come in and just be like, "That's not actually a jam, sir." Some game
Well,
preservatives freak.
you know what I think
Uh-huh.
is I'm kind of sick of holding this microphone.
Yeah, no, I guess
I don't
we
know
can
if
kinda
anyone's
adjourn.
watching the stream, if the stream's even working
Yeah.
or anything. There's not actually internet here. We're just talking into microphones. It's just for fun.
Yeah, I guess our usual wrap up is we would go over announcements. Our announcement stuff we just went over earlier in the
Yeah,
thing.
we don't have anything to announce. Oh, next month. Next month we will have a meetup on the 3rd Thursday of the month, as we do every month. The 3rd Thursday. So please come to where the meetup is on the 3rd Thursday.
It might change. We might be
Ben?
meeting up in a different spot. Ben.
Is our meetup going to be in the same spot next month? We're not sure yet, and we will announce it online. Let that be a teaser that one day it will be somewhere else, and you'll never see us again.
We also have
Just
a
kidding.
couple of
Please
things
come.
sort of cooking up behind the scenes that I think people are going to be really, really excited about. That once we get a certain thing done, I don't know, can we talk about our hardware stuff? Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So thanks to like a fairly substantial donation from
In Exile.
In Exile,
Entertainment.
we got a ton of computer parts that were pretty much on the free. Also, in case y'all don't know, we're a 501c3, a charitable organization, and you can donate to us and potentially get a tax break, depending on what you want to give. So they gave us a bunch of stuff, computers, graphics cards, too much VR things,
Yeah, whole tub VR stuff.
monitors, and we sort of have been devising a program behind the scenes where if people are in need, want to rent, requisite, or even keep some of this hardware, they can fill out a form. We'll go over it, and then hopefully be able to requisition y'all actually kind of decent computers, good monitors, and just way too much VR stuff. Like, literally, if you want a VR headset, like, I can't see a reason why we
Please
probably
take
wouldn't get
it. Please take it.
We have such a big tub of VR junk right now. We want to give it away.
But on the flip side of that, also, if you have some old crap, say you got a new computer, or yeah, not there was generic, all-encompassing crap, not the pejorative. Yeah. Yeah. If you have stuff to donate, money, computers, illicit materials, you can give us all of that stuff, and we will find it a good home to someone in need, into a service for the greater community.
And on your end, it's a tax reduction. Like you'll be giving to a 501c3, a charitable organization. So we will write you a receipt that you can file at the end of the years and get a tax write-off. So who doesn't love tax write-offs?
Believe it or not, no one pays us to very poorly run meetups. We do this out of the love in our hearts for you guys and girls, and not guys, not girls.
I think, is it gals, guys, and non-binary pals?
That's it.
That's
That's
a really good one.
That is a good one. Rolls off the tongue. I should have started with that. But yeah, we do this for the community. We want to make sure that y'all have like the resources and the know-how and like other people to talk to about making games and having fun making games, because that's what it's all about. We want to we want to make games, and we want to make games together, and we want like these unchaperoned children in the arcade to play our games on this cabinet, and be traumatized for the rest of their lives.
I think any other announcements we might have soon are slightly pending. We do actually, we're working on a choose your own adventure kind of thing, but we'll probably talk about that more in the Discord. We will always be looking for people to help work on that. So
yeah, we already did a whole meetup about that.
Yeah,
so
fun
go on YouTube, watch the video. You'll get a big explanation. You'll get to see Dan the man himself talk about it.
But
I miss Dan. Where is he?
He's around town. He's doing like a theater thing. You can think
cool.
Women in the Dunes might be playing tonight at the thing. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No.
It's great. It's a Japanese movie about a man who gets trapped in the dunes with a lady.
Oh, no. It's a Japanese man's worst nightmare.
It apparently is. I don't know. It's a beautiful movie. Anyways, we don't have much else to talk about.
Yeah, no, we're just wasting time now.
Okay.
But thank you all for joining us, and thank you all for joining us. We're going to close the live stream, and then we're going to socialize with the human beings in our direct vicinity. So you guys have a great night if you even got to see the stream at all. Maybe there'll be a recording. Maybe there won't. Who knows? I'm a funny guy like that. But good night, everybody.